So I had done a post about the man who burns the lover girl, and I've got a comment from this commenter. She says, like how Al Pacino said he should have married Diane Keaton. Anyways, I hate the man who hurt me, and I wish nothing but the worst for him. Thank you so much for this. Hi, my name is Dr. Natalie Jones. I'm a licensed therapist. And I told her that I would talk a little bit more in depth about this phenomenon that's, a very similar love story. It's the one that, allegedly happened between Diane Keaton and Al Pacino. Anyway, as we know, the lovely Diane Keaton passed not too long ago. Fabulous actress. I love her. I love the way she dressed. I thought she was beautiful and elegant and all the things. Anyhow, she dated Al Pacino from 1974 to 1990. She loved him, said that, that he was the greatest love of her life. She was madly in love with this man. And allegedly they broke up because she gave him an ultimatum to marry her and he would not commit. Anyways, after her death, he came out and made the statement that this commenter says that he should have married her. She was all the things, right? And this is a phenomenon that we know that many millennial women now refer to as having a man play in your face. That's what we call it now, but which is essentially what it means is, you know what I want. I've told you time and again that what I want, what I need, what I desire from you is commitment. And you constantly ride the fence. You tell me what you think I want to hear, but you refuse to give me what I want. Essentially, you dangle the carrot over me, and and then even when I give you an ultimatum, you still will not give me what I want. Meaning that you will not marry me. And a lot of times, what people now say is, he might marry, but it just will not be you. So he'll marry someone, it just will not be you. And he'll string you along. A man will string you along for all the benefits and all the perks you bring. So maybe in this case, it might have been opening up the doors for acting or career. So climbing the ladder, social status, your reputation, great sex, great food, whatever you provide financially, or, just sort of occupying my time, so people who have no intention of committing to you will happily waste your time. It's why any woman I've ever worked with, anybody I've ever worked with, I've told them, listen, you need to know exactly what it is you want and be clear. And you need to be attached to the goal, not the person, but to the goal. Because if you don't have your goals, you don't know what you want, someone will decide the trajectory of how this relationship is going to go. And it will not be you. And the results will not be favorable to you. So always know and be clear on what you want. Because there's a lot of people that love to play games. Eric Byrne, I think Eric Byrne, I think they call him the grandfather of transactional analysis, wrote a book called The Games That People Play. It's a classic book from way back when, if my memory serves me correctly. But people will play games. They will play with you, and then something happens to you. You're gone, and they start romanticizing could have, would have, should have, all the things I could have done. And she was probably the best person I ever had. And here I was being silly and toxic. That's what I talked about on the previous video. And so for her to then pass, and then for him to say that, is a big betrayal, but it's also an indication of how people can be hot and cold. And now all of a sudden that she's no longer with us, something unexpected happened to her. And now he has sort of what we call a come to Jesus moment. I should have married her, sort of like that impulse thing, like, oh man, because he may have been stuck in his imagination and in limerence and thinking about it while years is passing by, and thinking about like, oh, should I have married her? What would our life be like? And, even though he's sort of playing around and he's non-committal, he may have entertained the thought, but quickly, as fast as he entertained the thought, drew it back, hot, cold, hot, cold. And again, he may not even have entertained the thought for reasons that were beneficial to her. So people can entertain thoughts like, oh, maybe you would be a good person to marry, but not for reasons that are beneficial and mutually exclusive, meaning she was in love with him, madly in love with him, and he was the love of her life. That may not have been the case there. And so he may have entertained. What people will do is they'll entertain the thought of marriage for, okay, she's safe, she's stable, she won't cheat, she will never leave me if I cheat, and she offers all these great benefits of being married. She's not the woman that I necessarily am wild and crazy about, but she will do. And so I can't say for certain that that's what he thought, but I can say for that the pattern is strikingly similar to what I've seen in working with people over the years who love all the things that you do for them. They can have a great time with you. We can be even great in bed together. I can meet your family and you can meet mine, but this is temporary and I'll never marry you, baby. I'll never ever marry you. But when I'm on my deathbed and I'm getting old and I'm singing out a bunch of sad sob stories to anybody who will listen, I will tell them different versions of the story of us and how I was the best man and how I loved you and how you loved me. And sometimes you might be the villain in my story, and I'll tell them how you burned me and I couldn't trust you. And sometimes I'll say that, oh, I was just never a good enough man for you. You were always so sure of yourself, so confident, and you did well. And I couldn't do it because you made me question my manhood and la, 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 la. And around we go, right? Because he just can't get out of his ego. He can't allow himself to be vulnerable, be in love. There's always something that's going to pull him out of that woman that is all the things. You can be a great woman and do all the things that are right. And sometimes they will just, they'll spend time, but they won't marry you. They won't give you what you want, because then that means that you have something, that you have the power in the relationship, and they can never give you that. They always want to be the one in control at all times. They always want to be free to go whenever they feel like it, because a lot of times, and I've done posts on this before, a lot of times when people do this type of stuff, and sometimes they'll even marry you and have children with you, they don't really see you as being in a relationship with them. They view you as being a placeholder until I can get what I really want, who I really want, or something else better comes along. So be careful with that. This kind of stuff really happens, and it happens all the time to great people, but never ever let someone else decide your future. Don't be so desperate to have something with someone that you lose sight of what it is that you want for yourself. Thanks so much.